Hey Broncos fans, if you want more videos on your favorite NFL team, well, you got to hit that subscribe button and share that link below with a friend, youtube.com/Broncos TV. We haven't done as much Broncos videos recently because, well, other channels just have more subscribers, and that's how things work here at Chat Sports. The channels with the most subs get the more videos, so go ahead and subscribe, and we'll continue to get you guys updated with the latest Broncos news, rumors, and a whole lot more. And guess what? We're talking quarterbacks today. Let's get into it on the Broncos Breakdown. You're watching the Denver Broncos Breakdown. I am your host for today's video, Harrison Graham. You can follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. More NFL news and nuggets over there. Let's talk about the latest on Deshaun Watson. Yep, we're bringing him back to the Broncos Breakdown. John McClain, who covers the Houston Texans, has this update. There's not a huge update on Denver's interest, but there is a Watson update. He says Watson will never play another down for the Texans. And if John McClain says it, I trust it because he's been locked in to that franchise since its inception in the early 2000s, and he's covered the NFL for almost 50 years. So what's the latest on a potential Watson trade? Well, he's been at Texans training camp since it opened, and basically they've just been having him run around in the scout team, playing in the secondary at safety and at corner, just hanging out because he doesn't want to get fined, because if he doesn't report, the Texans are able to fine him, but that has not been the case as he has been there throughout. He hasn't taken any reps at quarterback, at least any first, second, or third team reps, so he's just mostly not getting fined, just hanging down there in Houston. Obviously, the major issues continue as he is still in the midst of ongoing legal issues and allegations. I'm with John McClain. He's done in Houston. He requested a trade. He demanded one. I think the Texans are cool with moving on at this point. The thing is, though, they're not just going to trade him for pennies on the dollars. They're going to take their chances and hope these legal issues resolve themselves. That way that price can go back up and they can get proper value. Obviously, if he gets cleared, Watson is a lethal talent. He's very, very good. He's a top 5, top 7 quarterback in the NFL. This team was garbage last year down there in Houston, and he was still fantastic. Almost 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. He played at a second-tier MVP level, if you will, and obviously he would be a major upgrade over what you currently have, which is Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. This is what they combined to do. Lock in Denver, Bridgewater in Carolina, combined for 28 starts, Lock with 13, Bridgewater with 15, 6,666 yards. That's just a curse if you ask me. 31 touchdowns, 26 picks. Below average numbers, if we're being completely honest. Obviously, Watson would be an upgrade there. The problem is, at this point in time, at least in my opinion, until proven otherwise, I don't think Watson's tradable. How are you going to justify trading for Deshaun Watson if you're another team with, 24 sexual assault allegations out there against him in 2021? That's a tough sell if you are an NFL franchise. So I don't see how you do it right now, unless maybe with this caveat, if it's written in the trade, trade falls apart if he is proven guilty. So I guess you could do it with that stipulation, but even then, if you're Houston, you wouldn't be getting full value, so why would you do it? Let's say he gets cleared. I think a trade could look something like this. Again, if he gets cleared of all the allegations. Watson to Denver for Drew Lock, Bradley Chubb, who's an excellent defensive end, a couple of first-round picks over the next couple of years, and a second-round pick. So a couple of first, a young quarterback in Lock, Bradley Chubb, who was a first-round pick a couple of years ago, and a second. That's pretty good for both sides. I think Houston at that point would take that. I think that could be something that works out for both parties. Again, if he's cleared, because I don't see him getting traded until that happens. So be the GM. What do you guys think? You're George Payton. Would you trade for Deshaun Watson right now amidst the allegations? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Again, I'd have to type my in for no because I just can't take that chance. Want to remind you guys to get subscribed to the Denver Broncos Breakdown. We're trying to do more videos for you guys, but again, we have a bunch of channels here at Chat Sports around a bunch of other NFL teams. Let's catch up to those by subscribing, then we can do more videos. It's youtube.com/Broncos TV. In the meantime, we'll still bring you a few videos a week covering the latest at Broncos training camp and on into the preseason. More coming up here on the Denver Broncos breakdown. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Let's talk more quarterback rumors here. Drew Lock versus Teddy Bridgewater. Let's get you up to date on the latest here as we're about 10 days in to Broncos training camp. Obviously, both guys are competing for the starting job. That's why you brought in Teddy Bridgewater, because you just could not enter the season with not giving Drew Lock competition. That would have been malpractice. Obviously, they brought Teddy Gloves in. Neither has appeared to take off at this point. They're kind of stuck in the mud right now. Some good, some bad, some average, which probably shouldn't be a huge surprise when it comes to Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, because these two quarterbacks are just okay, right? Up to this point, we haven't seen that Lock can take off and be a franchise quarterback. Obviously, I still believe he has more upside, but that's just a word at this point. He has to go out and prove it. Last year, Bridgewater had the better statistical season. He's obviously a more accurate passer. Lock can stretch the field, certainly. He's got a stronger arm. He can make bigger plays downfield, but Bridgewater kind of the safer quarterback. But let's be honest, 15 touchdowns, 11 picks for Bridgewater, 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions for Lock. He started 13 games. Bridgewater started 15. It's not like either of these two guys are, taking a franchise to the next level, at least at this point. Maybe Lock gets there, but I think we kind of know what Teddy Bridgewater is at this point in his career, which is a fringe starter type of NFL quarterback. You look at the depth chart, you got Brett Rippon as well. I still think Drew Lock enters the preseason as the starter. He enters week 1 as the starter, but I think this will be determined during the NFL preseason. And if Lock stumbles a little bit, has some turnovers, which he's been prone to do in the past, do not be surprised if Teddy Bridgewater gets a crack at being that starting quarterback. There's a reason that trade rumors still continue to circulate around a guy like Deshaun Watson despite his ongoing legal issues, because the Broncos just do not have a proven franchise quarterback right now. And if a guy like Watson gets cleared, that is certainly someone they would be very, very interested in. Hopefully Lock shows out, because this is the guy you drafted in the second round. This is the guy that you believe has high upside. He's got the stronger arm. He's mobile, all of that stuff. If he gets beat out by Teddy Bridgewater, that means you don't have a franchise quarterback, because I don't think Bridgewater is that guy, which means come next offseason, the Broncos are going to have to be very aggressive in getting that guy, whether it's trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers, drafting a quarterback. Maybe Watson is cleared by then, but hopefully Lock becomes that guy, because I think that was the decision you made when you didn't draft Justin Fields. You could have drafted Justin Fields, and instead you said, no, we're going to keep Drew Lock for another year. Well, so far, mediocre results, at least during the Broncos training camp period. We'll see what happens during the preseason and on into the regular season. Who do you guys think will play better in this first preseason game for the Broncos? Type L for Drew Lock, type B for Teddy Bridgewater. Again, you're hoping Lock kind of takes this job and runs with it. Otherwise, that's a pretty bad sign. Get your votes in, L for Lock or B for Bridgewater. Speaking of week 1 of the preseason, it is almost here as the Broncos will take on the Minnesota Vikings on the road this Saturday, August 14th. We'll talk about this for just a second. What to watch for? Well, we've kind of discussed it, right? It's all about the quarterbacks right now for Denver. Can Drew Lock take that next step this year? Is Bridgewater a legitimate competitor for that QB1 position? We shall see. I believe this Broncos defense will be good. You'd like to see some of these young guys get back and get out there. It's just good to kind of wet the beat, get football back underneath. You've been practicing against your own defense, your own offense for the past couple of weeks. Now you get to go up against another team in the Minnesota Vikings. We'll see who plays quarterback for them. They've had some COVID protocol issues with Kellen Mond and Kirk Cousins, who just returned from the COVID-19 reserve list. We'll see how many of their starters they end up playing. Predict the score, Broncos, Vikings, week 1 of the preseason as football is finally back. Let us know what your score predictions are in the comments. And remember, subscribe if you want more Broncos videos.